Right, friends. I think it's a few seconds to 3 now. Maybe we should start preparing to start. And good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Motlokwe Tobeyane. I'm quite excited to have you here. It's encouraging to see that we all like to, to assist each other and share the knowledge that we all have. I think is very key for the betterment of this continent and even all of us individually. So thank you for making time. I think my suggestion is that how we are going to work is we all mute our mics, and then you will unmute yourself if you have a question. And then for you to have a question, to ask the question, you should raise the hand. I understand you should be seeing the hand. There's a hand down there if you want to ask the question. So my suggestion is that if you have a question, you raise your hand. And I have a fellow friends here from Motlokwe Foundation who are helping me. If one has a question, they'll be letting me know. I see friends, some friends here that they are helping me. I see Sia will be texting me. I cannot see the hand, then they'll be letting me know if you have a question, right? And then I think it's just to say that because today is a very special day in South Africa, so just to say, Happy Women's Day for our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our girlfriends, and the rest of everyone. And I hope that they are enjoying the day so far. We do not spoil that day for them. We meaning us men. And I'm hoping that we should from today on not abuse or do anything that will really, encroach their rights and their well-being. Thank you. So today we are going to talk about the charts. So if you remember, we did the formatting, which are the basic things about the Excel, and we then talked about the formulas, which I think we enjoyed quite a lot last week. Friends, I got some messages from them that I think they learned a lot there. Now you have the information, you have the statistics, but it's very key at times to present this data, right? Because you don't just manipulate the data for just manipulating. Some of you colleagues, you are doing some presentation to your board, to your colleagues, or wherever you are. So therefore, we thought that after you manipulate your data, you get the right information. Your data is not garbage. Then you can present it well. Because remember, if you garbage in is garbage out. So the last 2 sessions, we have been trying to get the right data in place, and then now we just want to present it. Now we will be using the charts to be doing that. So we will be, looking at different charts like bar, line, and all those things. Let me just reply to other colleagues because there seems to be confused that maybe today we are using different link. So as I said, and then I believe you colleagues saw that you are invited from today up until the end last session. So people might just use the same link that I've sent. Perhaps you can also just share that with some of your friends that we are using the same link as the previous one. So, let me just do this one for this other fellow. Yeah. So as I said, we should be looking at the bar, line, pie, column, clustered. Those are the types of the charts that we will be looking at. And then from there, we should be able to format or edit these charts. So there are a couple of things that we will be looking there. The other one, the first thing, it will be around the elements that makes up the charts. And the filter, we talked about the filter in our first lesson, is typically the same thing that we will do there. And then the styles, we also talked about the styles in our previous session. So it's more or less of the same concept, right? And then from there, we should be doing other additional formatting that we should be, to make our sheets more appealing, right? We should be looking at how do we do that. Yeah? My request is that, friends, is that let's meet ourselves so that we do not disturb one another. Yeah. And then if you have a question, you will just raise your hand, and then we will deal with that. Yeah. So I just like to. I thought maybe it would be key just to elaborate what the different types of the charts that you talk about, and in which use cases, where are they appropriate for us to use, right? As you see there, we talk about the line charts, and I'm hoping that now we all got this presentation. I shared the presentation on the charts. You can just go there on the charts and then click that Google Drive. You should be able to download this presentation, right? The first chart is about the line. As you can see there, it's really about showing the trends over a period of time. So we'll be trying to have this using the data that I've shared with everyone, right? So if you want to get the trend over the time, I think the line chart is quite appropriate for those reasons. The other one that we are going to look at is the column. Is the column one, right? Compare several items in a specific range of value. So those are the things that we should be looking at from our data also. The other one is about the clustered one. The clustered one, as you can see there, is used if you need to compare multiple categories of the data within an individual sub-items, as well as between those sub-items, right? So I think majority of this is just about just getting a feeling of what we are talking about, and then we'll go straight into those elements. You can't see the link from your side. I just shared it again, Gatleo. Yeah. The stacked one, you can see how it's placed there, specify the range of values as well as show the relationship of the individual sub item within the whole. So you can just read there, you will understand how it normally works, right? So that's how stacked one is. But we'll go through this one when we are using our data. The pie, I think this is the most is the one that we are more familiar with, and what we need to do with this one is that it doesn't really need a lot of columns. If you have a lot of numbers, columns, this is not an ideal one. It's purely to really show maybe 3 items or so. As for example here, you can see it shows these regions, EMEA and Asia and America. So there are just 3. It's easier to represent that data using a bar chart. I mean the pie. Otherwise, you should be using other elements, yeah? So the other one is it's more or less the same with the column, but now in this case, it goes, instead of going horizontal, instead of going vertical, it's going horizontal, yeah? So that's one other thing we'll be looking at. And the other important one is a combo, they call it the combo chart or combination chart. At times, for example, if you, in our case where with our data, we talk about the sales, right? The sales data. So maybe the column, you are having the sales numbers in terms of the revenue that has been generated, and maybe the number of items that were sold. So when you represent that data, you can see you have a different set of data. You have a revenue and then items or quantities of the items that were sold. At times, to able to represent that, you can use this combination. You are using different two charts. Okay, what I will do, I will mute everyone because I thought perhaps I was audible enough. Let me just mute everyone so that we don't get disturbed by other voice elsewhere. So I was talking about this combo to say that at times, if you have two different items that you need to represent, I was giving an example, but with us here, they talk about, actual and the target. If maybe, you have a data and then you show to say for each item, this actual value that you manage to attain sales, and then against the actual targets for that sales. And you at times you can use these two combinations, the combined sheets or charts to do that, right? So I will be then switching from this presentation to go to our Excel, and then I'm hoping that everyone got the Excel spreadsheet, that Excel spreadsheet from the invitation. Yeah, I'm hoping everyone should be fine with that. So we will then move using those. We are going to use that presentation. So I'm going to unshare this, and then I will share. I will share the data. Yeah. So I believe everyone can see this. Right. I hope everyone can see this. So this is what typically this is what we will be primarily, looking at to check to do all of this. Yeah. So now, thank you, Sia. So okay, I'll just cancel all this, and then because we are going to do all of them. Yeah. Yeah. So this first one we talked about the bar charts. So you are given this data here, and then you want this to be more to present it in terms of the charts. The question is, how do you do that? The previous session, the first session, we were using the home tab, and then as I said, home, that's where you get the fundamentals, right? And first session we're just focusing on we did everything under the home, where we looked at the styles, we looked at the numbers, alignment, the font, and the likes. And then the second one, we talked about the formulas. We used this tab where we did the name cell, name manager. We used these different formulas. And then today we'll focus on the insert, right? Insert tab. And then in the insert tab, there are a couple of things that we see there. There's a table that's about pivot table. This one we'll focus on next week. And then there's another one, illustration, that will touch a bit of it because we'll be doing some shapes there. And then there are some adds-ins. There are adds. This one we don't primarily, we're going to use it here. The one that we are going to look at today is a chart. You can see the charts here, these charts, yeah? So as I mentioned that with Excel, anything that you do, you must select the area where first before you can take an action. So in our case, perhaps maybe the question may be say, you know what, can you present the sales for May, right, in the form of a chart? So someone will be interested with this to say, can you present this data? And then also showing the salespeople, can you show me with this data, because this number, they're just too much. I can't be able to, to make a quick decision or see any trend, right? So question will be say, can you do this? Can you just show me the data, right? This in terms of a chart. So what you do is you go to insert, and the beauty part around this Excel, I think starting from Excel or Office 2013, right? There is something called recommended chart. So at times you're having a data, you know, want to create a chart, but you do not know what type of chart you really need to use, right? What you'll do is you highlight the data that we want to, you know, chart the chart, and then you click the recommend. The recommend will, based on this data, will recommend you the type of chart that you can have. But remember, this is just a recommendation. It doesn't necessarily that is what you are looking for. It just quickly shows you to say, perhaps maybe you can use this type of a data, of a chart. So what you do, you just, you know, click once, and then you will see here, it will show you how it looks like. The first one is put it in the form of clustered bar, and then the second one is says clustered column. We talked about the column chart and the bar one, right? And then this other one is Pareto, and then you can say you know, plot distribution. Some of these are things more to do with if maybe you wanted to have something around statistical and all that. But I think in our case, we just want to make it simpler. We will then select the one that's called the column one. You just click it on it, you'll see here the right-hand side, it will show you how it looks like, right? If after there, you just click OK. And then it will generate, just one click, it will generate you this, yeah? So maybe at times, this may not necessarily be the names, right? Maybe the products or whatever the case is. As I've been saying in our previous session, that take this, put it in your context. We are just using this as an example, right? So in our case, then you'll see you are going to have something like this, yeah? So you will see that the x-axis represent the values, and then the y-axis represent the sales persons. These are the names of the fellows, right? So there are a couple of things that we will be, you know, looking at. When you click on the charts, you will see at the top there is going to give you these two additional tabs, design and format. We will primarily working on these two tabs, right? So where you will see that there is a one called the add charts elements, right? And then when you hover on it, it will just shows you that this is they want to add the elements. And then the second one is about, you know, the quick layout. If you just want to change the overall layout of your charts, you will do here. You click it, you're going to have a different, you will see you're going to have a different format, right? And then you will represent it the way you feel like you like it. Other thing, other one is about, you know, the change colors. At times you see this one is more greenish, right? If you do not like this color, you can select whatever the color you feel like you like, and then it's going to just change your color. You can see, you can just, you know, move around above them, and then you will see they're going to change, and then you can select whatever the color you like. The other one is called the chart style. I like this one, right? This one gives you a couple of ways of, you know, representing this charts. All this type of charts, being column, line, and all those, and they have all these options, right? So in our case, you can see you selected the first one. You can then just click one of them just to see how it will look like. So you can change it. You can just, you know, click all on them just to see how they look like. And then at the end, you just then select the one you are looking for. Yeah. So in my case, I'll just maybe click this one with the background, with the black background color. So that's one of the beauty of Excel, is just quickly do things quicker for you. Yeah. So this is what you have. And then in Excel, then I'm going to explain this all these elements that you see here, and that though they are just applicable to every Excel, right? So what you see, we're having a title, chart title, and then you can see it's editable, because in this case we selected the May. It just gave us the May here, so maybe you can be saying May sales. You can edit it like that. So maybe it will be saying this is a May sales, right? This is the chart title. You can see when you just hover on it, it will tell you that is the title, right? There is this plus sign here. This is what we call that charts element. You can see we have two of them, right? This one here and the one above. The one above gives you lots of options to look at. Yeah. So this is this one. So if maybe, for example, you want to here you can see, if you want to remove the title, if you don't want your charts to have a title, you will just untick it here and then it will disappear. But at times it always makes sense to have a chart. So I'm just saying this is how you can put your title, and then if you click on this arrow, it will ask you to say, where do you want to put your title? Above or at the center, right? Or you can have more options, and then the more options they will appear from this side. You can see you can do quite a lot of things from there. More options, right? So this is about the elements. So for example, if maybe you want to add to put the labels on top of your charts, right? You can do this, but you can see, and then remember, it's really about knowing what you want to get, because you can see we are representing the values here. If you really insist having this, you can expand this, but you can see that it doesn't really look very nice if you put your numbers, even if you try to expand it, right? So you will just come here and then see, like, you know what, I think the data label doesn't really suit well with this one. Then you can just unclick and then gives you this. So I talked about the elements, the charts elements. So there is the one that you can put the legend, right? The legend, it will also ask you, where do you want to put it? At the right, or at the bottom, or at the left, right? Or at the bottom. And then we can still create a couple of things here, right? So let's do this. So let's talk about, for example, you are having this, but one does not see what that this represent. In our case, we are just like here to say there is a rand, there is this currency sign at the beginning of this. But there are cases where maybe we don't have this currency, and then you don't know what is this, right? So there is, for you to let people know what this is about, you might just go to this chart element, you click Access title, right? So obviously you can see it's here. If you click on here, it's here. And then from here, then you can just click on inside it and then label it. What is this? Yeah. So this will be what? Will be the, maybe let's say this is the revenue. Or let's say that's the amount. This is a sales amount, and then this is in the rent. Then you put it like this. So it makes it easier, right, for you to know, okay, these are the amount in the rent, right? And then you will see here also, you are having access title. What are this? This one we know is what? These are the sales people, or the names of the sales persons. You put it like this. So you can see it's more, now it's understandable. So if maybe you want to see how is maybe sanitizer, maybe you want to check Maluleko. I think there was a fellow called Maluleke here, or Ngobeni. How did they do? Then you just, you know, able to check these names here to say, where are those guys, right? And then if you can see here, this data is already, you know, sorted. It's already at the, what do you call it? It is already sorted from small to the largest. Yeah, we'll just do another one where it's not sorted, and then we'll sort it so that you can able to see on it, right? So that's another way of how to format this chart. So as I wish you said, this is maybe to be May sales, right? And then in this case, in your PowerPoint presentation, you can copy this. You can copy this chart, and then maybe you can open the PowerPoint or Word, and then you can just go and paste it there. So let me also, because I think it's very important. It's very important thing for us to also note. I will share my presentation, my Word document, just to show you how you can do that, because I think it's very important for us to able to do this kind of thing. There are other things that I also just want to show you when you paste it there. So this is what we have. So you are having this. Let me just unshare this. I'm going to share my whole screen so that you will able to see everything. So I'm having this charts here. I want to copy it. I want to paste it on Word. I'll open a Word here, Word document. So when you right click, right, you're going to have different options under pasting, right? The first one is you use a destination theme and embed the worksheet. The other one, you keep the source the way it looks like from the Excel, and then you still also embed the worksheet. The other one is about the link. It's saying you use the destination theme and you link the data. So this one with the link data, it says that it means that if you paste it here with a link, linking it, right? If you are going to change, let's say, for example, we're going to change the value for wash hands Maluleko. It should automatically, because you linked it, right? It should automatically update this site. Yeah. So let's just take note of that. We're going to increase the one for Motlokwe, just to check indeed if this is correct, right? This is what we're going to do. I'm right clicking again just to show you the last options. So this one you use the destination theme, but you will still linking it. The last second one is that you are using the source formatting and then you still linking it. The last one, if you don't really interested in, you know, updating the data, you can just save it as a picture, which normally that's what I do. If I'm sure that I wanted this data, I want to go and present it, or I want to send it as part of my proposal using a document, I'm doing this, right? So here, what we said is that we link it. When we are going to update our spreadsheet here, this data is going to update it here. For you to see if indeed this is linking, right? When you click on it, you will see these options. Although this is weight, right? But it shows these options that are coming from Excel. This is one of the things that you will see if indeed you linking the data, right? And then you will see you still have what? Design and format. Whereas you are still on, now you are using Word, right? Now you are using Word document. But if you paste them and then you're saying it must link the data, it will take the whole behavior from the Excel and then it's going to put it here. Yeah. And then obviously the the picture, it will just be as a picture. You can't edit this one. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I thought, colleagues, I should just let you know, because at times there is a need perhaps to to link your Excel with your Word document. But if not, then you don't have to do that. And then I believe you understand why these colors are different, right? This one, we take the theme of what? Of this Word document. This one, we take the theme of the Excel. Yeah? If you can see, this one looks the same as Excel one. When we paste it here, we told it that it must keep the source. I believe we got this one. We said this one. It must keep there. You say here, keep the source. You can read it there from your end. Keep the source formatting. It means that it take the whole behavior from Excel is going to put it here. But here, although you are still linking, but it take the theme from the Word document. Yeah. So let's do the Mr. I believe the Mr. Wash hands. Let's increase this one to maybe 5,000. There's something that I want to show you. You can see now this value has increased to 5,000. Yeah. So if you want to check, can you see now it's also increased from this side. So I thought it's key that for you colleagues to be aware of this. If you want to link the two documents, then that's what you can do. But obviously, this should be on the same. You should be working on the same computer thing. You can't be using another computer elsewhere. And then, but you guys, you can confirm that, right? But mostly is that if you are on the same computer, you are going to do some presentation. Someone else is working on the Excel document, and then you'll do presentation. And then you want to update this. Maybe this is a data, for example, maybe it will be maybe for COVID-19. Maybe you're working with the hospital or wherever you work on. There are people who, they are working on this data every day to say maybe these are the number of people who are infected. They are updating this data, but you are using the same data. You are going to present it. So when you're going to present, you want the live data. That's how maybe you should do when you paste it on a Word document. Are we fairly okay so far? Maybe just by someone raise their hand there. Because I've been saying, remember as a previous session that I always feel comfortable if people, say something, because I might be thinking that we are following, but not. Are we still cool this time at this stage? Oh, we are cool. Yeah. So that's about that. That's about doing that. So there's other ways. Sometimes, right? There is a case where maybe this. Let's see. At times you update the data from Excel, but does not show here, right? What do you need to do? Sometimes you just click the refresh here. You are on the design, the same way from Excel. You will just click the design here. And then you will just, refresh, and then you refresh, and then it's going to refresh. I thought it's not going to be quicker, but in our case, it updated quickly, right? So I think we are fairly okay. We put our X's here. This is a Y, and then this. So this X, this is a Y. We put the name here. You can put whatever you want. You can put whatever you want. So meaning, even from Word document, you can still do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So let's maybe from Excel, from Word document, let's just work on these elements. We did all of this. I think this one we are fairly fine with it. We talked about the label, but we found that the label, because it's in big numbers, they are not really nicely represented. And we don't really do that. At times, you may need to put the table below it. This one of ours is not really, that nice. But let's put this one as that layout. Let's put orientation as this, and then try something. So let's do this. We increase this and to see how it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you may be wanting to put this thing like this, right? So what we did is We came here because the data label, it doesn't really look nice. I don't know, nice is a correct word, right? If you put this, it doesn't really, they overlap. These numbers, they overlap. The other option that you can do is maybe put the table, data table below. Yeah, to see, okay, if maybe we talk about stay home, Garabo, right? Or her value, I believe it will be her, right? Her value is 4,670. You can put this, but it really depends on the requirements or what you are looking for. Yeah. So that's what we can put there, right? So this one is just a trend line. You can see because we put them. We sorted them from smallest to highest. Then the line, the trending line is just, incremental line. This is about this. I just didn't see how you change this. Okay, yes. So what we did is that this 5,000, we change it here. We change it here. Remember, as we said, we are going to look for watch hands Mufokeng. And then it was 2,000 something. We can go back, I think, yeah, it was this value. You can see here it went down. It's 2,000 something. Then we said, let's increase this fellow to 5,000. It increased to this, yeah? And then we said that we can check the same behavior this side. How did we get this? We said when you copy it there, when you click this, when you paste it this side, you must take a fourth option, keep source formatting and linking data. So it means that whatever you're going to do in Excel is going to be reflected this side. Yeah, that's what we did there. And then we said if you don't want it to be motivating, you don't want to motivate it to be linking, you can just put it as a picture, or you can put this one. You can take the first two. This one, you just put the theme. You're just going to get the theme, but it's not going to add there. It's not going to be updated when you work on it there. But you can still do whatever you want to do with it. I believe we do understand. We do understand that, right? These pasting options, please just take. They are very cool. They are very cool one. The last two, I mean, the third and the fourth one is they are linking the data. You can see there's this chain here. They're linking the data. This one, they don't link the data, but your data is still represented in the form of a chart. If you click here, it's not going to update it because you are still going to have these options. Now let's move to the second one. It's called about the chart style. Here you can click on it and then you can still change your chart, the style of your chart. Now I like this one, but you can come do from your end, right? You can do anything. You can choose whichever you find it cool from your end. You do this, right? For example, you like this one. For example, I want to, yes, I like this one. I selected this one, but you see now it's saving the numbers. Where do you remove these numbers? You go here, and then you take the data label out, and then boom, voila. Then it looks very cool, right? So I'm just saying, you must just know what to do there. So the second one is just about the style. What do you want? What do you want there, right? You can change it from here, or you can go to design, and then you're going to have a couple. This one gives lots of options, right? You can come, select this one here. I used to say, I'll tell the fellows last session that I worked for this company called Accenture, where I used to think like people that doing magics, because typically me, from whenever I was coming from, I don't want to expose where I was coming from. I used to think that people are making miracles, because I will see them having this one here, within a second they change to here. And then I thought like, these people, is it because of the university I've attended? But I want to find that, I think we are too much concentrating on doing programming without looking at things like this. That's why I thought like it's very key for me to have this kind of session, because I know, irrespective of the field or how good you are or the degrees you have, it's always key for you to have understanding of how this kind of system, a typical application like Excel we are using, right? So that this is about that. I think it's a bit hanging, but let me go to the Excel. We'll progress from here, right? Here we're talking about the bar one. So if you want to change this one, I don't like this, I want to change it to elsewhere, right? You just go to design, you change it, you say, I want to change up here, change, and then this was what? This was a column, maybe you want to take it to bar. The same format, but you want it to be a bar, boom, voila. Yeah? Thank you, Mr. Masuga, man, thank you. We'll catch up next time, yeah? So that's where we are. Did you see what I did there? If you want to change this, you want it to be more, to look it like this, to put it horizontally, bar. You just click on the chart, you click here, and then you select the bar. All happiness, right? So that's what you did. You can then select here, you have those options. We did the column, now we did the bar. Let's click the line to see how it looks like, right? You click the line, and then you will going to get something like this. Does it make sense to you or not? Then that depends on you, what you are looking for. Because it's always key to know your use case. What are you looking for really, right? As I said, as we mentioned there, the line is always, maybe if you compare the numbers from 2 points to see if there's any overlap or there's where they measure and all that. But this is what you can do, right? So I mentioned that bar chart is not ideal, right? If you have so much data to use this pi, it doesn't really say much. In my view, when you look at this data, irrespective of whether you're going to put the percentage and whatnot, right? It doesn't really say much. So we are using pi. If maybe you are looking, maybe I'll say less than 5 data points. It's fairly easy then to represent that data in that format. Yeah. So that's what we do here. Now, there are cases where I believe you colleagues from your end, you save, you do whatever you do, right? I will cancel this one from my side. Yeah. There are cases where one will say, Motlokwe, I need the data May and June, or even maybe July, right? But can you give me this data in the form of it? It's the same thing. With Excel, you select wherever you want to do first, yeah? And then you will go to insert. As I said, if you don't know which one maybe you may use, you can start by going to recommendation. Recommended is going to recommend one for you. Yeah. So in this case, you can see it's showing the bar one, and then here is representing the column one, and this one is called the stacked one. Remember, I talked about the stacked one. So let's click on this one. We'll talk about it. The stacked one, remember, it's going to stack them, but only if they are of the same time, the same data. This is the names, and then all of these are the same. This is the same data. All of this is a currency. Hence, it managed to stack them. Yeah. So I believe at times you can use this one, where you are having the same data but for different points or different periods. You can stack it. Or if you do not need this one, you can go again, you change it, and then you put it maybe as put it like this. Do you see the difference? Yeah. So that's what you can do. That one, it was stacked, but now this one, what did they call this one? This is the column one. You put it as a column. So what it says is that it takes this fellow here, Mufokeng, and then it's telling you down here. May is this greenish one, and then June is this color and this color. Remember, you can still change these colors here. If you don't feel like this, you don't like this color, you can change them here. You click here. I don't like this. They are not that clear, right? But you can change it from here. Do you see? So I used to say to people that even after I do this one, I don't expect someone tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, wherever you go, you'll be giving people very weird charts, and then you'll be saying there's a troll guy called Motlokwe was telling me about this. So you'll be representing me. So you should be, clicking this to check which one is really good for you and all that. And then you can see here, just by merely looking at this, because as we said, Excel data analysis is about getting the trends, right? Get the trends and the patterns. So you can then see here that this month, there's this particular month here. This month, the third month, is having the largest values. Then as a decision maker or whoever you are, analyst, you need to find out what happened in there, right? You can see this in July. There's something special happening in July. The fellows they've been performing very well. This is a sales data, for example, right? This fellows has been, doing very well. That's why it's important to do the charts, because if you don't have the charts to see this kind of data, it will be very difficult. You need to go one by one and check and all that. But with the data, you can really see that, you know what, I think the third month, the fellows are doing quite well. And then maybe the first month or second month in particular, actually the second month, June, is it because it's cold? Is it because we were just started with COVID-19? Whatever the reason is, that's really the idea around this Excel, right? So this is what we can do. There is this functionality that, remember, you see now when you put this thing here, there is several ways of maybe you still want to work on this data, but I've already showed you. You can copy this, and then you can create another sheet, and then you paste it there. It's the same thing that is going to help you there. Do you use the same the destination theme, or you are using the source one, or you want to put it as a thing? So you'll put it here, and then you can work on it here without having this data there. Or there's another one, but I see when I try from my side, it doesn't work, right? You can click the chart, and then you go here and say move. When you say move, when you click on move, it will ask you do you want to create a new sheet? You click here, and then you can give it the name. Maybe this is a column what, yeah? And then you click it there. But I saw from my Excel, it doesn't, when you click it here, it should come and paste it here. But it does not show. I think it seems like there's a problem with my Excel. Can you friends try that from your end and then see what's happening there? Because from my side, it does not. I think I might be missing something, or my Excel is not that heavy. But the point is that the point I wanted to just to show you is that you can still move. You can see you moved it here. Remember, it was here, right? And then you just clicked. You clicked on it, and then it gives you this option, this thing here. You said it move. Can you just try your end, and then let me know if when you say move, it appears. Because when I move it to here, it doesn't show it. So I'm not sure whether maybe I'm missing something or not. But that's an idea. If you are having it, you should be able to move it. Yeah. So that's what we need to do. But there are cases, I believe we are fine, right? There are cases where you are having different data, and then I'm having this one here. You are having the salesperson, you are having their values, and then you are having the quantity, how much they sold. This data you can, insert, and then you can ask Excel to say, how can I represent this? Then it's going to give you the options, right? You can see it's having these options, a bar one, and it's going to show you this, it's going to show you, something like this. And then as you remember from our end, we talked about the column one. The column, the combo. The combo is good where you are having the data of the different type. You see, so you can, for example, you see this. If you have this data like this, it doesn't really say much because this data, the sale, this is the currency, and then this is the quantity. It doesn't. It's not the same thing. As much as this is saying, but it doesn't really tell you the true story. Because just looking at this data, one will think that maybe the revenue is more than 2,000, and then this one made less than even 500, right? By just merely looking at this without maybe looking at the whole thing. So you will see this kind of data where you have two different types of data. It doesn't really suit well. So the question is, which one do we use, right? So with this kind of data, where you are having two different types of data, quantity and the actual values in terms of the currency, you should, you can say change here, and then you use the combo. Yeah, you use a combo. So when you click on the combo, so it's easier at times to represent. You're going to tell it to say the sales, represent the sales as a columns, right? And then my quantity as a line, right? And now there's this is primary and secondary axis. So let me just click this one so that I'll be able to explain it. This kind of data, what is showing us is that the data is they are both represent them as the primary axis. But what you need to do at times is that you should put the line as a secondary so that it can appear this side. You see now it's represented correctly. This side is the prices, and then this side are quantities. And at this type of data, you're able now to see that, okay, let's take even this Mufugen, right? He made the 2,300, but their quantity, he sold this quantity. He sold 176 quantities. You see? So this way you can use the combo one. I think that's what is also they're explaining from the PowerPoint, right? So that's what you should be able to do. That's one of the charts that you should able to use. Yeah. So is there any question so far, brothers and sisters? So the idea is that get your data, get your use case. What are you looking for? Get the data, understand your data, right? Are these values the same? Then if maybe these values are the same, then you can stack them. It makes sense to stack them, right? You can put them as a column, right? Because it's the same, even if maybe it's a different intervals, but it's the same data, then you can able to put them, stack them together. If not, perhaps maybe it's very important for you to use this combination. It's a combination. You combine the column together with the line. And then from there, the question may be saying, what type of product is this fellow face shield buying? Because he sold the small values. small numbers, right? But the sales are very good. You see, that's the beauty part of the whole Excel thing, right? That's why as a decision maker, as an analyst, you should be able now to be investigating to say, this fellow, he sold very small, but the revenue is very good. Or is he using the different, what type of product is this one, for example? Or is he maybe this is a global company? Is it in Europe, for example, maybe? Where maybe is it due to the currency? Whatever the reason is, right? And then you will able to tell you the story. That's really is about the charts. They always want to tell you the story. This fellow here, right? He sold so much, but the sales are very small. Those are the things that one need to be. That's where we talk about that analysis thing comes in. You need then able to tell the story, right? You're able then to tell the story around this. This is really the idea around all these charts. Let's talk about the pie. We said that it's not an idea, right, to have this type of data, and then you say, I need to put this, or you change this. You change this, you put the pie, for example. It's not going really to tell you the very nice story. You can't really, it doesn't really tell you much, right? Because these are more or less the same thing. As much as you can put the, as much as you can put the data labels here, right? As much as you can put the data labels, but it doesn't really tell you, because it doesn't say much really, you see. So we prefer you use pie charts with the data that it's not that big. It's not that big. For example, I wanted to do something like this. Say maybe you just want the charts for the totals of this month. I'm going to hide this, yeah. And then maybe one say, can you just show me this in a form of charts? I mean, a chart, and then you put it as a pie. And then this thing still doesn't even recommend pie for this. It's okay. Are we missing something? Let's do this. Let's see. Yeah. No, it doesn't take this. No, it doesn't. But anyway, you can do this, right? So we have something like this. We need this to represent. This will be our May, this will be our June, and all that, right? So by merely looking at this, you will see, and then these numbers, these colors of ours. Let's take something like this. Or maybe to make it easy, I'll just copy this, I'll paste it here. I just want to, put this pie to say where mostly let's take the values. Am I missing something? But anyway, let's just do that. Let's just do this. So it's easier to see that this quarter, this section is bigger than the rest. Then you can able to say whatever the case may be. Why this month? This month 4 is August. It's the smallest one. What happened there? I'm just saying those are some of the things that you can decide, or you can learn from these charts. For example, this is the 4th month, is the August, then it shows that it's the smallest one. What happened here? Yeah, the October is this one. Is the biggest one, right? What happened there? And then, as you know, you can put the values here. You can put them at the center, inside, outside, best fit. And then there's this one here where it shows the what do you call it? The percentage, or you can click more. And then it will show you all these options here. It's going to give you all these options here. Let's see the one. Right? So here, if you say more, you can say it should show you in terms of the percentage. It shows you the value and the percentage. By default, it's not there. You see. What did I do? Label. Yeah. So you see, by default, mostly if you select it from here, right? That option is not there. So if you want more options, you can just go to more, and then you will go for this one. You say label. Then you can tell it to say, can you show me the percentages? I need the number and the percentages, or you just need the percentage only, right? So then from here, you're able to say, you know, October, almost 40% of your sales were done during the October. What's happening there in October? Then you answer those kind of questions to give you the insights of what's happening within your company. Are we still fine from this angle? Any comment? Are we still following, right?
So, yes, we're still fine.
All right, thanks. So that's the thing, right? And then you can copy this. You can copy this from, we can copy this to your, as I said, to your Word document, and then you paste it there, you narrate the story to your management. You see? So that's really what you should able to do there. There are cases, right? And then I'm going out of Pi now. I will just go back here. And then I'm hoping you friends there, you save and then you do all these things. Yeah. So this is what we had. And let's just have this one again. We say insert, and then we put the column. We have something like this, right? We're having the column one. We're having the column one, right? But and then it's maybe the requirement says that, you know what, I don't want the last 5 fellows to appear. I don't want corona. I don't want face mask. I don't want the no hacking. I don't want isolate. I don't want the contact trace. I don't want Carlson or sanitizer. How do I don't want them to appear here. How do I do that? Right? That's where, if you colleagues, you remember from the first session, we talk about filtering. We talk about these elements. You know how to use this one, I'm hoping. Remember, this is about, you know, the styles. And then now there's one called filter. Yeah? So we have this filter. Now this one, there's a thing to say. Okay, there is a hand. Yes, please, Marakiwa. I see there's a hand, or there was a hand. Okay. So we have this, right? Maybe someone will say, you know what, these people that are not falling under my region, maybe you are a sales region, right? They gave you all this data for the company, but you said, you know what, I don't need these fellows. These fellows are not, then they're not from my, you're going to make presentation for your region, but these fellows, they're not falling from you. They're not from your region, right? And then they gave you this. The question is, how do you remove them, right? So how to remove them? You can come here, you click there, you come here. This one says it's a chart filter. Edit what type points and name are visible on your charts. Just click on it, and then you are going to have this. Sometimes access. But you can you do that from your end? At times this thing, it hangs. But do that from your end, it takes some time to come back from my side. Yeah, do it from your end, and then you will see it. You remove these fellows, the one with the red. Right? So are you winning from your end? My Excel stopped. Oh yes, now it came back. Now we here, we said that we don't want the last 5 or 6 people. We don't want this guy, we don't want this guy, we don't want this guy, we don't want this fellow, we don't want this fellow, we don't want this fellow. The result, this one, they are not dynamic, right? You must say apply first before you can remove them. You see now, they are no longer here. Filter, and then you take them out. Do you see? There's at times also you can say, no, I don't want May for whatever reason is. Then you can take May out. So you can able to filter your data. Right? We know we can edit this. We know we can give access here. You can give the names here, right? To say what are these things. These are the names. These are the amount, right? You can give the labels, right? And then you can change this to whatever you like, right? So I believe everyone should be happy with these options here. The charts element, the style, and the filter. Any question with regard to this 3? We still fine, right? And then now, I believe everyone knows now what this is about. This is about changing. If you want to change, this is about moving it. And we'll talk about, there are cases where you want to switch the rows, right? If you want these fellows to come this side and these numbers to be appear this side, let's just click it, and then let's see how it appears. Do you see? You change the series. Okay, let me take it back. You see this one, it grouped this based on the names. This is the name of the fellow, this is their values. But what across this month, right? Now, what it's going to do is you want to say, I want to group them by the month. How do you do that? You must just go and then click here. Boom, voila. Do you see? Now, all of this, this is the month. These are all the, remember with this one, sorry, I'll be clicking up and down. You wanted to say, I want to check, for this guy, I want to check this guy in these 2 months. How is it doing, right? But there are times where we say, I want to group my months together. I want to swap this. You want to swap this one, the names comes here, the month goes there. And then you just do something like this. And then it tells you another story. You see, this one will tell you, who is this fellow? This fellow in this month is doing very well because you are just interested in this month. Who is this fellow? Who's the best performer? For example, so you want to check quickly who's doing well in this month. Then you just swap or switch the column and row, and then you know for sure this fellow here, Mufugeng, is doing very well. These are the colors, right? And then who's not doing well? There's this fellow here. It seems is no kissing. Yeah, maybe because yeah. That's what Taylor told us. That during this, that's why maybe it's very demotivated because there's no kissing during this period. Yeah. So that's that's just about that. And then you go to June, right? You see the fellow here, Tendani, because maybe it's having, those is showing those signs, it's having those health risks around those things, right? Comorbidity, you know, that way. So maybe this fellow, it didn't work because obviously it's having such thing. So the point is that we must use Excel to tell us the story, but we should be in a position to ask the relevant question. Or even initially, we should be having the right data. As I said, the garbage in is a garbage out. These are fancy graphs and whatnot, but if the data is not correct, then you are doomed, right? So that's the point. That's what I wanted to show you. And then I really like this. And then the nice thing with Excel is that you don't have to, you don't have to be a mathematician or even the actual data scientist, those fancy names we saw on LinkedIn, right? That's why I'm passionate about this, because I know that every one of us, they are using the data. This data may be saying something from your side and whatnot, and then you must use Excel to be doing this kind of things. Are we fine, fellow friends, right? So if we are happy with this one, and then we are happy with this one, we are happy with this one, let's go for this one. Now I'm having this data, the business is booming. Now we want to go to Cape region. We are hiring new people there. Yeah. So these are the finisher of your company. These are people who have been with you. Now you add the new fellows. Maybe they just hired this called Motlokwe here, and then this is the new month, and then that's how he performed. Right? You see, you want to see Motlokwe here. The question is, how do you add the new values? You see? So how to do that is that, as you saw, design, you select the data. Motlokwe, you can see this one. Motlokwe is not part of this, but you want to add Motlokwe to be part of it. And that can be many, right? Let's click here, and then this is going to tell us the story. Yeah? So horizontal is this, we still need this, and then the legend entry, the series, we have these fellows here. Then you must just go, you add, I think you add, right? And then you should then, the name, series name is what? Is this fellow. Yeah? And then now the value, which value do you want to add? We want to add, you click here, we want to add this value. Let's just say maybe these values. And then you do this, and then you do this, right? So you'll see now Motlokwe is part of your data. Do you see? There are cases, then even maybe there are cases where you want to remove, you want to edit, let's edit, you want to edit, right? To cover elsewhere. And then we do this. But you see your data, don't worry about this, because these values are long. That's why you see this, you see your, it's not, is which another one? This one. That's why it's two. Which one? This guy. You see? Okay, let's see if Motlokwe is here, right? And remember, I think with him, we added all of them. We added these values instead of just adding the two. Then we can go and then we say select, right? And then we say going to say edit, and then we go here, we say we want to edit this guy, and then you say which value are you looking for? We are looking for only these two values. That's why you see all these ones are for this month. To get the point. And then we should be okay. Yeah, but these values, right? These values you see is for this. Let me see how do you take them out. Let's see. Where is that? Oh yes, it's this one's here. Okay, you would click here, and then we should able to remove this, right? Okay, I'll just repeat again. But the idea is that if you want to add additional values, like myself, like this fellow here, I even wrote the name incorrectly, right? You have new people who need to add, or you want to add. You want to remove or add, right? You just select this here, and then you say select data. Are we fine? And then my name is here, and then I'm part of the team. If I want, I think I just want to connect. Then you can remove whoever you want to remove. You see, the guy is gone, right? So that's the whole idea around the whole thing. So I want to make sure. Let me start from the right. We did this one. We did this one. We did this one. We did this one. Yeah, we know how to use this chart. We know how to use this. Remember, this is just about changing their colors. We know how to use this, right? You see this quick layout, you just click on it, it's going to, you can quickly check it here. It's going to give you different layout. You see how this one works? Without you coming here and selecting and whatnot, you can just come to quick layout based on this data. You can just come here and then hover around them and then see which one you like. Which one is appealing to you? You see? And then maybe you have something like this. Then, but you can see here is still axes. And then you must tell us what are these things? These are the month. And then these are the amount. Do you see? So that's really what I wanted us to, to talk about today. And then of course, format is just a typical format, right? Formatting is just the format. If you want this one to be bold, it should be the same. You should do the same bold. It's the same thing. If you want to increase here, you increase. Yeah. So friends, this is what I wanted to cover today. And then there is, are we fairly there? Are we fairly fine? Shane, are we fairly fine? There was this lecturer that he wants to teach me. He used to say that you are failing. What? It's fairly easy. So you are failing easy. We used to think that he's saying this is fairly easy, but you are saying you guys were failing easy. So are you happy?
No, I'm happy, Motlokwe. I think.
Okay. So Mr. Mulauzi, are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Okay, great. So then, yes, this is what we have. I wanted to do the last. This is one I like. Just in addition to this, remember we didn't do anything fancy here, right? These are just the typical things, right? So, any question? I used to say, guys, that I'm having this NGO where we go to the schools and everything, and I used to tell people that people must not get offended when I'm always asking the same question, because I just want to ensure that we are all at the same time, because I'm on the same page, because I used to go and teach those young fellows there. So asking several times, not necessarily that I doubt that you do not understand. It's just already my habit. So there's this one that I did. I thought maybe I should just show you. Maybe at times, right? Something like this. Just to show that, just to be fancy sometimes, right? Sometimes you find this kind of, you may be given, someone say, you know what, I need something like a thermometer, right? When I increase, I know maybe the highest value is 100, but when I increase this into 71, this thing is increasing, it goes up. So just to, maybe this may represent anything, but maybe in this case, this may be a thermometer. They're having how many minutes? 10 minutes. I think we should do it, right? Sometimes we have this kind of things. Sometimes we have it that what they call that thing of the project that shows the project timelines, chart, right? So just that maybe we'll have another session where we do those kind of things. But if we have something like this, right? So what you do with this one is, if you want to do something like this, it's going to touch on some of the aspects. You have this, and then this is the inside. You go and you get something like this. Now, what you do, you want to change the series. You just swap these things, right? I think you already knew how this works. I did this one. You just swap it to be like this. Né? So check here. This represents my current value. If I say 50, this one decreases, right? Let me cancel this one so that it does not interfere with us. So there's another element here. I want this to be together. Remember, English is not our thing, right? But I think you understand. I want this to match, maybe in a way, right? I want this to be on top of this. So in Excel, when you click this, you go to the format. It's going to give you this format data point, right? There's a series overlap. If you take this, remember, I'm on this one because it's selected, right? You drag it this side, boom. This is going to be on top of that. They're going to be together. The overlap is 100%, meaning there's no space between them, right? But the other thing that I want is that this selected one, I want this to be I want it to be red, right? And then I want this. I want to take this one. I say this one, I don't need anything inside it, but I want their color to be red. You have something like this. Yeah? Now, when I increase this value, let's say when I increase 70, you see this is increasing. But the problem now is I want this to be maximum 100. I want this axis to be 100, not 120. How to do this? You must just click on it. Axis. In my case, it's already give me the format. You can right click it and then say format, right? And then you must just select here. It's going to, where is that? Let me click, yeah? It comes here, we are here, access options. You say my minimum must be 0, my maximum should be 100. You keep it like this, right? So even if I increase here to 90, it will always remain what? On 100. Do you get my point? It will never. It will never change. You have something like this. I'm just doing this so to know that if you're having a graph where you want to make this fixed, you just right click on it and then you will change it there, right? And the other easiest thing, other thing that you do, you come here, you have something like this. You just maybe put it here. You change the inside to be red, to be like this, and then you know, put this thing nicely here. Yeah, you have something like this, and then you say no line, then you cancel this, you cancel this, you cancel this, you have something like this. And then in a way, and then you say the background, no fill. Then you have something like this. And then this may represent the, that thermometer, like maybe we'll be having the data from the background. Then they're saying if the temperature is, or whatever is 40, you must decrease. If it's going up, you do this. I'm just doing this. I'm not expecting everyone to really get this point, but the point is that with Excel, the point is that you can do whatever you want. It's not about just doing these predefined ones. You can formulate your own thing. Maybe you are working in a mine and then you are taking the temperature. There's something about the data here where you can import the data from other sources, from a database and everything. You want to say, you know what, if the census, this thing of, but anyway, I don't want to get into deep into, this thing of sensors like Internet of Things and everything. Maybe you have a sensor that takes the temperature outside, and then it is populated the information here. But maybe you are having a dashboard somewhere where you want to show the people what is the temperature and everything. With Excel, you can do that, for yourself using Excel, using this kind of the charts. Because if maybe we represent something like this, it doesn't really click when we have these values. It doesn't really tell us, it doesn't have that boom boom thing, right? But if you have it like this, it's very nice. It gives you that nice thing. So you can change it here, which is drops. You can see this is dropping, right? So the point with this last exercise is just to say that, friends, you must go and Google there. There are a couple of things that you can do with Excel. Very interesting things that you can do with Excel to do your data analysis. Yeah. So I wish to stop here, and then I just want to open the floor for any comment, any comment, suggestion, advice, but otherwise, the floor is.
Can you hear me? Chen here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So on this last example,
Yes.
Is it possible to program it in such a way that you have sort of values that change, or colors that change with values? Say maybe your maximum is 100 and you want to set it and say from 0 to 30 I want it green, and then green to and 30 to 60 it's yellow, and then
yes,
it's red, and then 90 to 100 is sort of maroon, like
yes. Remember when did you do conditional formatting?
Yeah.
So remember with that thing, that conditional formatting, with this, remember, I think we ask actually represent by, where does those things, these things, ne? So you want to say if this value is 20, it must be green. Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that, but I think just that we left with 2 minutes. But I think maybe next week we'll just prepare something just to do it there quickly for you to change the color. To say if it's remember that rule I talked about. So we're saying if this value, right, is greater than or is less than, you said how many?
Let's say
less than this, and then you change the color.
Yes.
Where's the field? You change the color to be yellow, for example. We'll do that then next week. We'll do that next week so that it can show us there. But yeah, we're going to use conditional formatting to do those things.
Okay.
Yes. Other friends?
Motlokwe,
Yes.
can you please allow us access to Google Drive so that we can download the presentation?
Or you don't have access?
Yes, I don't know what happened, but I was trying to download it and it's saying you must accept it on the other side.
All right, no, I'll do that. And Dombi, are we fine there? Yes, friends, I see Kujo Mampo Mwanzi. Are we fine there, Robert? We should be fine, yeah? So yeah, Im Malashela. Are we fine?
Fine, Baba. Sure.
All right. So friends, yes, I think let's stop here, and then we will then proceed from next week. We'll be doing pivot table, and that pivot table I think is the coolest thing that one has to know, because we are going to use a huge data and then to do this, right? You see, this data is small. That's why we managed to come up with things like this. But you have a data where it's having hundreds rows and all that. That's where you have to do something like pivot table, right? So please invite your fellow friends to come and join. Obviously, as I understand the issue of connectivity and all that, but we should be all fine, yeah? If there is no comment, then thank you very much, friends, and we will then see each other next week 3 o'clock. Yeah, I will enable us to get the access to this presentation, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Bye-bye. Keep going.